No, no, that.
You're welcome. We'll be checking
Some learned friends of ours that
Amen. The Public Secretary of the PDP.
Welcome back to the Crystal Beam Podcast on the Beam TV, where we illuminate the stories that define our values. Today we are asking a vital question for our nation. What does it truly mean to be a good Nigerian? Often you hear people talk about the Good Samaritan, but today we are going to be talking about the good Nigerian. We're starting with the ultimate lesson in altruism, the biblical story of the Good Samaritan, help from the most unlikely person, given with absolutely no expectation of return. This timeless parable finds a modern resonance in the trendy story of the Senate President Godswill about Akpabio and the young men he sponsored to study overseas. This was an act of grace, pure and simple, extended to complete strangers. We'll unpack the humane side of leadership and the simple but profound mandate Akpabio gave the beneficiaries. What was it? Do the same for others when you have the opportunity. Join us as we discuss how a single act of unconditional kindness can break the cycle of cynicism and ignite a chain reaction of goodwill across our nation, Nigeria, and other places. Like I said, today we are talking about a radical form of kindness, help from the most unlikely place. That is what most people expect. Well, it is with no expectation of return. It's the spirit of the Good Samaritan and what it means to be a good Nigerian today. Well, we don't need to just be talking about the Good Samaritan. How many of us are prepared to be called the good Nigerian? We can actually make history. We start with the classic biblical story. The Samaritan helps the wounded Jew, a traditional enemy, by paying for his care and recovery, asking for nothing. The key takeaway is that the act was pure, unconditional, and given without seeking social credit or repayment. That single act of selfless grace sets the moral standard for our modern discussion. Beyond the naysayers, yes, we are talking about the power of altruism. The true power of this act lies not just with the giver, but with the receiver. We often talk about the givers, we don't talk about the receivers, but here's something. These young men are now the custodians of an unconditional gift. The real test of the Good Samaritan spirit is what they do next. Their success is the repayment to the nation and to the society, not to the senator himself. This act transcends politics. It is about human capital development. It is a powerful call for every successful Nigerian in business, politics, or any other field to create a chain of selfless support. We must deliberately move away from tribal or political patronage and establish a national covenant of support where we help simply because we have the capacity to do so. Let me ask you, if you received this kind of unconditional help, who would be the first person you would pay it forward to? And why is it so hard for us to help someone we know can never help us back? That difficulty highlights the rarity of the true good Nigerian spirit. Yeah, we're going to be looking at the Good Samaritan, or call it the Good Nigerian challenge. Yeah, a challenge. People talk about this challenge or that challenge, but nobody's talking about the Good Nigerian challenge beyond the social media. You know what I mean? Well, let's wrap up with the challenge. The good Nigerian is defined by their unconditional commitment to lift others, regardless of tribe, faith, or relationship. The act of mercy and help should be its own reward. The ultimate payoff is a stronger, more unified Nigeria. The lesson from Akpabio to the young man and from Jesus to all of us, and of course other religions, is this: help is a seed, not a debt. You don't owe the giver, you owe the next person struggling. The power is in replicating that initial grace, but of course not without gratitude to the giver, because that is one thing so many of us lack. So here's our final charge. Look around your community today. Find a Jew on the roadside, a talented struggling stranger, an indigent child, and offer your own version of the Akpabio effect. Start the chain of unconditional help. Be the good Nigerian. Thank you and God bless you. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, The Beam TV, so that we can regularly update you, with happenings in our polity. Thank you and God bless you. Bye.